All right, let's talk about one of the most overlooked documents in the entire business world, the job description. Today, we're going to crack the code on this thing. We're going to unlock its hidden power and show you how it's so much more than a list of duties. It's a massive strategic tool. So let's dive right in.
Let's be real for a second. When I say job description, what pops into your head? Probably a long, kind of dry, bulleted list of tasks, right? Yeah, that thing you skimmed when you were job hunting and then probably never looked at again. It just feels like bureaucratic homework. But what if it's actually something else entirely?
So, this is where it gets interesting. Our source material calls it a composite, cognitive, and operational artifact. Okay, that is a mouthful, but let's break it down real quick. Cognition just means it's a tool to help us think more clearly about a role, and operational means it's a tool to guide action. So you see, it's not just describing stuff, it's a blueprint designed to turn a company's big, lofty ideas into what a person actually does day in and day out.
So let's completely reframe this. Forget the boring list. A job description isn't a list, it's a key. In fact, it's like the Rosetta Stone for your organization. It translates the high-level company strategy into the concrete actions, responsibilities, and expectations for every single person. It is the absolute critical link between the company's mission and the people doing the work. Okay, so if we're going to understand this Rosetta Stone, we've got to start by decoding its core, and that is all about the fundamental what and why of any job. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with purpose. This isn't just about what the job entails, it's about why it even exists. How does this specific role help push the whole organization's mission forward? Think of this as the strategic North Star for the position. Now, here's where things can get a little messy, because people throw these terms around interchangeably. A social media manager's duty might be, say, post on Twitter 3 times a day. Simple. Their responsibility is bigger, managing the company's brand presence on social media. But their essential function? That's the real strategic part, driving community engagement to support sales goals. You see that progression? We just went from a simple task to the deep strategic reason the job exists in the first place.
And all of that brings us right here, to the job core. This is really the heart of it all. It separates the absolutely mission-critical responsibilities from all the other noise, the secondary tasks. If you get the job core, you truly get the essence of the role.
So we've nailed down the core of the role, but here's the thing. No job is an island, right? A really great job description is also a map showing you exactly where the role fits and how it operates within the whole organization. So the first landmark on that map is the hierarchy. The job description draws clear reporting lines, it shows you where you sit on the org chart, and it defines the chain of command. There's zero ambiguity. You know exactly who you report to and who reports to you. Simple as that.
But this map, it goes way beyond just the org chart. It defines the whole context. Where's the work getting done? In an office? Or is it remote? What's the zone of responsibility? Which is just a fancy way of asking, what decisions are yours to make? And what are the working conditions? All this stuff sets really clear boundaries so you know exactly where you operate.
Okay, so we've got the purpose, and we've got the map. But how do we actually know if someone is succeeding in the role? Well, that's where the job description turns into a scorecard. It has to define what success looks like and exactly how we're going to measure it. It all kicks off with crystal clear expectations, and this isn't just about hitting targets. It's the benchmark for what great looks like. It covers everything from sales numbers to how you collaborate with your team. Basically, it answers the question, what does an A-plus performance look like in this job? Expectations are fantastic, but you need a way to track them, and that is where metrics come in. Metrics are the language of performance. They turn all those duties and responsibilities into cold, hard data, so everyone knows exactly how they're doing. And that, of course, leads to the big one, accountability. Once you have metrics, somebody has to own them. The job description makes it perfectly clear who is ultimately answerable for those results. It's the anchor that says, the buck stops here, and it connects one person's performance directly to the company's bottom line. And finally, we look at the yield. What's the ultimate payoff? This is the total value created by the role. It can be tangible stuff, like sales numbers, or intangible, like a boost in team morale. The yield is the proof. It's the evidence that the role is actually doing what it was created to do. Now for the last and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, the human element. The job description isn't just a sterile document about a role. It's about the person who's going to fill it. It has to define who you need to make it all work. This is where qualifications come in. The document spells out the essential toolkit for the job, the must-have skills, the education, the experience. And this isn't just some filter for HR to use during hiring. It becomes the foundation for that person's training and career growth down the line.
And of course, it also outlines the rewards. And we're talking about way more than just a salary. It's the total package, that mix of compensation, benefits, and all the other non-monetary perks. This is how you attract the best people, and more importantly, it's how you keep them fired up and engaged for the long haul. Okay, so we've decoded all the individual pieces. Now, let's put them all back together and see the full unlocked power of our organizational Rosetta Stone. So here it is, the big takeaway. A well-crafted job description is the bridge. It's the single document that connects your company's high-level strategy, its day-to-day operations, and the actual people who make it all happen. It's the thing that aligns all three. This really lays out the whole map of meaning. You start with a solid foundation, the what's and the why. You add the context, the where and the how. You layer on performance, how you measure success. And you support it all with resources. When all those layers click together, you don't have a list of duties anymore. You have an incredibly powerful strategic tool. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Go find your own job description or the ones you write for your team. Take a hard look at it. Is it just a static, boring list of tasks, or is it a dynamic map? A map that gives you meaning, clarifies your purpose, and actually drives strategic value? The answer to that question, well, it just might change everything.